I would like that to start with an icebreaker and to test also whether the Slido works for you. So if you can kindly go to Slido by using the hashtag iCapital 2022. We have a poll over there with a question that asks you whether you intend to submit an application to this year's edition of the prize. And you have three answers but available: yes, no, or not yet decided. So hopefully, if you are not yet decided, maybe we will convince you to apply for the 2022 edition. So please kindly go to Slido and share your answers. In the meantime, I will also share my screen with some interim results. I see that the results are coming, so I will present in full screen. All right. And I will share my screen now to see the results, some of the results. Please vote, please vote. I see that there is an interest to participate. Yes, yay, excellent. Yes, no, not yet decided, 14%, 13%, that's good. We keep it open for 30 seconds more. So slido.com, hashtag iCapital 2022. You will see there two tabs. One is the poll, the active poll, and one is the Q&A, where you would be able to ask questions during this meeting. All right, thank you for the vote. Okay. Yes, I see that some extra results are coming. All right, so nevertheless, please keep your Slido application open, Slido website. We use this hashtag for the questions, for the question and answer sessions. As I mentioned, there will be a separate tab that you need to click on, and I think there are already some available questions already asked by the participants. And thank you so much for sharing your opinion to this poll. I see that there is a big interest for participating in this year's edition, and we would do our best to answer to your questions, and also to today during this meeting, or also by 13th of June when the contest is due. So I will stop sharing my screen now, and we could kindly go. I will kindly ask Jorge to share the next slides. I think we have an agenda to be shared. Yes, thank you. So we have already been through the welcoming, to the introductory words. We have basically the welcome and the presentation of our team about what iCapital is. Then we will be followed by two testimonials done by the previous winners in 2021. Dortmund as the winner of the category called European Capital of Innovation. And in this regard, we have Angela Mertin, who was the coordinator of Dortmund's iCapital application, and she is the science officer at the city of Dortmund. And then Angela will be followed by Susanna Isakainen from the city of Vantaa, where she works as development manager. She has been a core member of the application of last year's winner of the Rising Innovative City category, Vantaa. Following their presentations, we will take questions, as mentioned, through Slido by using the hashtag iCapital 2022. And of course, we will wrap up the meeting at around 12:15 Brussels time. Yes, so let's not waste more time and go directly to presenting this year's iCapital edition. The iCapital is one of the 4 EIC prizes that um, that are basically part of the European Innovation Council Work Program 2022. They are a versatile tool to support public policies and stimulate positive change in Europe. And that's why we like them, because basically they stimulate breakthrough innovation. They answer to the Green Deal challenges. We also use prizes for the new Bauhaus initiative, also for renovation wave, and moreover we answer to some of the challenges that the city mission has in place. So next slide, please. As mentioned, we have 4 EIC prizes under the EIC World Program. The first one is the European Capital of Innovation Awards. We have Women Innovators Prize 2022 to award women that establish and build innovations all over Europe and beyond. We have the European Innovation Procurement Awards, and also the European Social Innovation Competition um, as the fourth prize. Next slide, please. We would like to provide you with a bit of policy background, because it's very important to know from where we start with this prize. So basically, we have placed these prizes under the European Innovation Council, as mentioned, which is one of the one main instrument of the third pillar of the Horizon Europe, called the Innovative Europe Pillar 3 in-house here. So basically, the prizes are under the European Innovation Council, but they are also very linked to the European innovation ecosystems. And when we talk about the European Innovation Council, we talk about a 10 billion euro program that identifies, develops, and stimulates the growth of breakthrough technologies and innovations all over Europe. And we believe that it's a unique program in Europe, because it works on one hand with researchers, and basically it combines emerging technologies stemming from research, and we help them to go to market in this regard. And we also have an accelerator that works with startups and SMEs to support them in their scaling up process. And of course, we work with scale ups because we want to see more unicorns in Europe. And another important aspect is the fact that under EISMEA, the European Innovation Council and SMEs Executive Agency, the agency that is implementing this prize, together with the European Innovation Council and other work programs like the European Innovation Ecosystems, we basically have drafted, and we have developed the award criteria of the prize in a way that they answer to the objectives of the European Innovation Council, and also to the objectives of the European Innovation Ecosystems. And if we go to the next slide, you will see that we have had in this regard a consultation process over the past years that basically have been transposed into a work program called the European Innovation Ecosystems Work Program. And throughout this consultation process, we have observed that basically there is a need for for tackling different barriers that the innovation ecosystems in Europe have. So mainly we try to through our work program to increase the connections between the innovation ecosystem stakeholders in Europe. We want to foster an entrepreneurial culture. We want to see more partnerships between startups and corporates. We want to help them. We want to help these companies to scale more in Europe by with the help of the innovation ecosystem players. And why we are talking about innovation ecosystems in the context of iCapital is because we see the cities at the core of the innovation ecosystems, because they provide a platform of these stakeholders to collaborate, to work together, and to boost innovation at their level, in order to provide better services for their general public, and also for the companies and the innovators that are part of the community there. So for the next slides and presentation, I will hand over to my colleague Jorge Kanovas. Please, Jorge.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to this meeting. So now we are going to talk a bit more about iCapital in detail. I'm sure that most of you know some of them, but well, to give you some background, so as you can see here in this picture, so we have some previous winners. It was a prize that was established in 2014. So when this year when Barcelona won, later we had Amsterdam, Paris, Athens, Nantes, Leuven, Dortmund, and Vanta the last year. So you see here the big representation, because I think the capital is represents indeed all the union. So what are the objectives of this prize? Linking it together to what Catalin just explained before. So we are here trying to see how this we can build inclusive and innovative city ecosystem, so that we have citizens involvement, we have urban innovation, and of course what we want, and especially we have seen that now in the present pandemic, we need the resiliency and sustainability for all our cities. So that's a bit the representation of what we want. Categories. So for the price, as you know, from last year we have introduced two different categories. The first one, that is the European Capital of Innovation, that is for cities that are from 250,000 inhabitants, and then in this case we will reward one winner with 1 million euros and two runners up, each one with 100,000 euros. And the second, the new category, that it was the one that Vanta won last year, is the European Rising Innovative City, that is for cities between 50,000 and 249,999,000 inhabitants. In this case, we will have 500,000 for the winner and two runners up with 50,000 euros. But also it's important that it's not only about the money, that of course it's important, all this, the budget, the money that you will receive, but also it's about the recognition and the visibility that that your city will receive. Now later we will have Banta and we will have also Dortmund, that they will tell you from their experience what being iCapital means for the cities, and of course also for the citizens. And also one new activity that we will talk a bit later, the winners and the runners up, they will join the newly created Alumni Network, that it will be a network to exchange practices between all of them. But now let's focus a bit more on the competition. So here, that's what I said. So we have this alumni network that we launched yesterday afternoon with the winners and the runners up from iCapital. It will be a new network where that if you win the competition, you will be part of that. And then the idea will be that then in this arena, in this new forum, then you will be all together to exchange and to promote your practices, dialogue exchange, and of course you will help us. You will help the European Commission and the agency to test new ideas, to identify what are the gaps at the European level, and also to come with some proposals. So this is a newly something else that you will receive as a winner or runner-up of this year's competition. So what are the eligibility criteria? Of course, you all know that you have to be located in a member state or associated country. Then here we already mentioned before the quantity, the number of inhabitants that you must have in order to apply for one or to the other category. And then it's important that the winners from all the iCapital editions, they cannot compete, but also the runners-up, only the runners-up from 2021, they are not eligible. So the runners-up from 2020 this year, they can come back to the competition. And now let's take a look a bit more in detail about the different eligibility criteria. So the first one is experimenting. So what we want to see here is how your city has become a test bed for the innovative practices. We know that you all are doing an excellent job on incorporating your citizens to test new ideas, tools, etc. So we want to see here how you do it and what you are doing. In the second place, escalating. As we have already mentioned, and you have seen what are the different policies, so that's why we came and we explained you a bit all this background, that we also invite you to take a look when you will be filling your application, to put it also in the big context. So we want to see how you're accelerating the growth of your startups, SMEs, how you stimulate that your city become point or a place where investment, resources, talent want to be, want to meet. Also, how you are changing your legal framework. For example, we talk about innovation procurement. So how you are doing all this, how you are changing your city to become this place to be. The third one is the ecosystem building. That is was, as we mentioned already before, the innovation ecosystem is for us something really important. And we know that the cities are this ecosystem. So we want to see how you are fostering these synergies between the different angles of from the different stakeholders. So and we know that the cities, you are doing an excellent job already on that. The next one, expanding. As we also mentioned before, and also with this new idea of the network, we want to see how you are all helping each other, how you promote this exchange of knowledge, what are you doing to help those that are maybe a bit less developed than you, how you create these synergies, these links, and indeed how you cooperate between all of you, and then you build these capacities. And the last one, we want to see what is your vision for the city, where you come from, what you want to do. And also it's important for you to know that this is a recognition prize. So it's important that we will only be able to award and recognize the work done until the 30th of June. So then you can already say, oh, we want to be in that part in 2030, and in order to arrive there, we have already put this, and this in place. So you have to already show where you want to go and what you are doing in order to achieve your purpose. And also, as you will see, for example, in the case of Dortmund, they also will explain you where they were and what was the big transformation that the city went through all this time. And that was also a way to show this innovative vision. So with all this, it's important that now you have in mind the timeline. So it's already open, and the deadline for submission is the 30th of June at 5 o'clock sharp. It's important for you to also to understand that if you arrive 1 second later, this is an automatic system. So if you are out of the 500, then the system will close, and then we will not be able to reopen it for you. Even if you have a problem with the submission, then it's not possible to do it. So that's why we always invite you to do this and to submit your applications really in advance to avoid any problems. Later, of course, then we will continue with the jury. We'll do the individual evaluations, we will go to the hearings, and we will have later the award ceremony. So if you want, maybe later during the question, we can explain you a bit more about the hearings. Also, you can ask if you want to Dortmund and Banta to give you some tips about how the hearings are, but this is something that will take place later. So I think with this, you have here also we will distribute the slides in order for you to take a look to the website and to the rule of contest. So now, if you want, I will give the floor to our nice winner from iCapital. So Angela, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. And hello, everybody. Hello from Dortmund, Germany. I've prepared a little presentation as well. So I'm very happy to share our experience with the whole iCapital award competition, and tell you also a little bit about our innovation approach. So what makes your city unique? I think this is a question that you should be asking yourselves in the beginning of the process. So every city has something that makes it unique, specific history, the mentality of the people, specific atmosphere in your city. So I think you should ask yourself, so what is it that makes your city unique? And for Dortmund, we came up with this quintessence. We know transformation, because I don't know if you've been familiar with Dortmund before, but here you see some impressions from like back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s of the last century, when Dortmund was really a coal and steel metropolis, and this has really the slideshow is going very quickly, so we can hop back for a moment. So transformation is really something that has really shaped our history. So, for example, here is you see on the left top, that's we had turned an old brewery building into a center for creativity and arts, or we had this huge steel production site, really an industrial wasteland, and we turned that into this beautiful recreational area, including a lake, and all the people who lost their jobs in the steel and coal industry. And these were over 80,000 workers that lost their jobs. So on the other hand, we now have more than 55,000 students and around 30,000 people working in science and other sectors that are very close to that. So this has been a tremendous transformation. So I think the next question you should ask yourself is, what is your story? So to really boil it down to a motto or to a quintessence. And for Dortmund, we chose that this would be innovation next door, future from the neighborhood, because in Dortmund, it really comes down to neighborhood values and really working together. Cooperation is a big thing in Dortmund, and bringing together scientists, students, citizens, administrators, and really to co-create something together. This was really one of the big stresses of our application, really. So the next question would be, who's on your team? And I can say for Dortmund, our whole application process was really a big teamwork. And we've worked together with the Technology Center, for example. We have different innovation networks that are working together. We have the Smart City Alliance. We have participation projects, and all these people together are the backbone of Dortmund's application, really. Okay, next question would be, which dimensions of innovation do you cover? Because I think it's a very good idea to take a real holistic approach. So not only to take into account the technological innovations, but also the cultural, the social, and the administrative dimension. For example, in Dortmund, we have it's called self-made makerspace. It is an inclusive makerspace where people with and without disabilities work together, and they can 3D print objects that they need, for example. Or on the right, you also see Dortmund U again, where they experiment really with this new methods of storytelling. So these are just a couple of examples that you really be open-minded and to take into account all these different aspects. So next step would be to select the right projects, and these should be projects that on the one hand match your individual identity as a city, match your story, but that also match with the criteria of the competition. So now you might be wondering, what's this little squirrel doing on the screen? Well, I thought it would be a nice metaphor that in the beginning you really have to collect all kinds of different projects, and then in the next step you have to find a good order and to evaluate which of these projects fit all the criteria that you need. And the little object in the middle here is really a screenshot of an Excel tab that we did here. So in the beginning we had maybe 120 projects that we looked at, and then we boiled it down to, let's say, 20-30 projects that we would take into account for our application. So the golden walnut here on the right is a metaphor of the final selection, so to say. Yeah, and enjoy communication. So we decided to communicate early on, also internally, so within the city, but also internationally. So we put together a website, innovationnextdoor.de. Maybe you want to have a look. And so we put together all these profiles for our different projects, so people could have a look and look at videos and find more information. And we also posted a lot of Instagram stories about the different projects in order to communicate also within the city of our application. Yeah, the next tip would be to start collecting facts and figures so that you really have all your numbers together, so to say. And yeah, I think it's always good if you have a good argument to also yeah, be able to show this in facts and figures. So for example, in Dortmund, we have this startup competition, Start to Grow. And we had 40 rounds of this startup competition with 14,000 participants and 1,500 actual business foundations. This would be one example of maybe matching facts and figures that you could include here. Okay, next slide. Yeah, this is also just more examples of facts and figures that you can include. Click. And next slide. Yeah, then don't give up and appreciate the process. So for example, Dortmund, we tried first in 2019. And why is my telephone ringing? Okay, where were we? Appreciate the process. Yeah, just because yeah, we didn't make it in the first time around, but then we tried again last year and we were successful, luckily, and we concentrated really on this holistic approach the second time around. Maybe next slide, here you see us during the hearing, and you see also the team so in the background, so the people that were pitching, and also some people that were supporting our application. And we also chose a very nice place for this virtual hearing. So this was the Center for Entrepreneurship and Transfer at TU Dortmund University. So yeah, a setting that would match also our application. And then next slide, we were so excited when this this big moment came, and we took part digitally at the big ceremony, celebration ceremony. So due to the Corona pandemic, but nevertheless, we had so much fun. Here you see us on the rooftop of this Dortmund skyscraper, and we illuminated one of our landmarks with the European flag, and we had our little mascot on the table. And I remember that the commissioner was asking, "Oh, what's that on the table?" And we could explain, "This is our little Dorino. It's our mascot, and it's I think it's a very good symbol of Dortmund's innovation approach, because maybe at first it might seem heavy and gray, but it's actually an animal that is very powerful, that is has very good ears, good listening capacities. So this stands for communication, and the wings, of course, stand for innovation, and you can make really anything fly in Dortmund, even if it's a big and heavy rhinoceros. So this was really great fun. So next slide. So since then, what has happened? We've received lots of press interviews. This was very great, and all our partners have celebrated with us and are very happy that they can also share Being iCapital and use that for their own image and representation. This is all great, and we're also very happy that to have received the prize money. So 1 million euros. It's very good prize money. So we sat down with all our partners and decided what we want to do with it. So a couple of examples are that we are opening up an innovation showcase, an innovation room in the city center to really experience and show our innovation model and our different projects to the citizens as well. We'll have a European Science Award for virtual reality. We'll open up a neighborhood kiosk that will be a new meeting point in the neighborhood, also to share and exchange volunteer work, but also other services in the neighborhood. And there'll be a big city festival in May, so maybe you have time. May 7th and 28th will be a big city festival in Dortmund, and you can come here and learn all about Dortmund as innovation capital. And we'll also have a special workshop on European innovation ecosystems. Yeah, so if you have questions also afterwards, don't hesitate just to write me an email. That would be very nice. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Angela, for the very exciting tips and tricks. So please, colleagues, participants of to this info day, don't forget that you can ask questions during the Q&A session. So you can already post them actually on Slido. Please use the hashtag iCapital2022 in case you have a question for Angela about how is it to win maybe the iCapital. So now I would like to give the floor to Susanna to move a little bit more north. Susanna, I don't know whether you can hear us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. So please, Susanna, the floor is yours for the presentation.
Thank you so much, and greetings from Vantaa, Finland. And thank you so much for the invitation to come here and tell. Well, Angela started really well about tips and tricks, and I will continue with those tips and tricks in my presentation also. So let's start. To begin with, the application process itself is really rewarding. So we made application on 2020, and we continued on 2021 with better success with the application. So really important is to have your management board engaged, and they can also give you some focus themes for the application, and also the engagement of all the departments of your city, and also good connections to other people and organizations in your city. We had really close-knit team for the actual application writing. In our opinion, it should be big enough to have enough viewpoints, but also small enough to have close-knit working together. Of course, we were in the middle of COVID pandemic during the process, so we didn't have any in-person meetings. We sent lots and lots of emails, and also had lots and lots of Teams meetings. We also tried our application in Teams channel, so all of us were able to see what was going on and so on. So that should be considered also. And about the application process itself, in the best case scenario, you will get awarded, but even in all the other scenarios, you will learn a lot about your city when you look at the innovations from different viewpoints, and you get to know the people and so on. So as Angela said, important is to show your city, what is unique in your city. There are no two cities which are alike. In our application, we had lots of social innovations from which this picture is about. This is Tempo Orchestra, and they also played drums in our presentation video. So go and check that. They had so much fun also there. And also Vantaa, as Dortmund said about their process, also we are young city and growing city. So that was also in our application. And prepare for the whole process. The process can vary, but I think it's almost the same this year than last year. So first you send the application, then you have the semi-final hearing, and here's picture also from our semi-final setup. We are actually in our city hall, and we had lots of technology going on there, and then we made the video, marketing video, and we shared our growth story in that video. Also be prepared on doing things in short notice, so be ready to react fast. And in the next slide, we encourage you to prepare also for success. Here's the poor joy picture of our mayor and Commissioner Gabriel from the award ceremony. So it was a huge honor for us to get the prize and be the first rising innovative city, be the first winner in that category. And they are not, I don't remember if they were asked in any part of the process, but prepare actions also for the winning. So maybe those will encourage you to do even more in the application process. Also, Angela mentioned the communications, so it's really important to have your communications department of your city involved. So use social media, use websites and everything. And this is a great opportunity for you to do some city marketing and city branding also. And this victory was award for our whole city. So we wanted to spread the goodness and also support more innovations in our city. So at the moment we have our innovation contest open. So we are financing good ideas in our city. All you can also apply for our innovation contest also. So we have the application open until 15th of August this year. And we also are having Innovation Festival where we, in the spirit of iCapital, we are sharing our innovations and it's in October from 24th to 28th. So more info to come pretty soon. And thank you so much, European Innovation Council, for the possibility to come here and tell things about our application and also to arrange these and support more innovations also in city of Vantaa. Thank you so much. And please also send me email to get more information, and I will be also here for the questions and answers. So please make good questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Susanna. We move on now to the Q&A part of this info session. I will immediately share my screen with the already received questions. In the meantime, you can still ask Susanna and Angela via Slido using the hashtag iCapital 2022. Any other questions? So please allow me to share my screen. Share. All right. And I think there is a question already for Angela. Whether you choose one dimension of innovation or did you keep it large? So
yeah, we actually decided to paint the whole picture. So we kept it large. So we really looked into the different dimensions. This could be a strategic decision, whether you want to focus on a specific team, if that's something that shapes your whole identity as an innovation city. But we decided to go for the whole picture.
mm-hmm. Thank you. And actually, I was also curious about the impact of the prize, and this is also a question for you and also for Susanna about the overall impact of the prize after winning it. I mean, after winning this award, also at city level, maybe how was it? How if you can share few examples, ideas of the impact that winning this award had on your city, on your team, etc. That would be excellent.
Yeah, definitely all the partners that were involved in our application, and these are maybe 20, 30 institutions, they were all celebrating with us, and they also they use the title as well. So for example, the university, when they are now announcing something new online, they say, and by the way, come to Dortmund University if you want to study in the European capital of innovation, stuff like that. So that's very nice. And also we've had lots of press requests. So we gave lots of interviews, and other cities have contacted us and want to share their experiences. And also research institutions have contacted us, so they wanted to take us as a good practice example in their case study. So that's also very great. Yeah, and we've received an invitation to the Urban Future conference in Helsingborg, and we'll be giving several presentations there and participate there, and also have an expo booth there to present ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's definitely been a big boost also to our city marketing and the way we present ourselves, and basically the theme now comes into play in everything we do in Dortmund. If it's a city run, for example, now we'll be wearing T-shirts that says yeah, run for innovation or something like that. So it's a big theme now all across the city. We are active right now. We're working on a flower bed that will say innovation capital, stuff like that, or yeah,
Very nice.
construction sites will be themed that way. So yeah, there are many opportunities to take up the theme and use it for.
So we should all travel to Dortmund to take some selfies with the flower
Yes,
with the flower bed.
sure.
I see Susanna also. I've seen Susanna nodding whilst you were
Yeah.
talking, Angela. So please, Susanna.
Yeah, yeah, same things than in Dortmund, of course. And actually, the picture behind me is a picture from our city strategy. So we are using we had our new city strategy approved on after the winning of the category. So we are now having our city strategy is called Vantaa of Innovations. So that's actually one impact. And we are actually planning on doing the like impact assessment of the victory afterwards. So we'll give you more details about that when we go a bit further with the actions.
Yes, great. We are also looking forward to seeing it, to reading it. It will help us in shaping next editions as well. So thank you, Angela. Thank you, Susanna. We have received also some other questions on Slido. Jorge, if you wish, please join me to cover them together. The first question is about more details on the jury members. Here, whether we can share more information about them. I must say that we can't share more information about the jury members because, for obvious reasons, we need to keep the details about them confidential, as we want to avoid any type of conflict of interest and for the overall evaluation process. Therefore, we are not publishing the list of the jury members. But what I can tell you is that they are very esteemed professionals, very known in this field of urban innovation. They come also from various backgrounds, like universities, like companies that support the innovation in cities. So they are basically 10 jury members, because we actually have two panels of juries, one per each category. So basically, the jury members for the European Capital of Innovation category is different than the one for the Rising Innovative category. But nevertheless, we follow the same structure for both panels, meaning that it's a very diverse panel when it comes to experience, to gender, to geographical distribution. So I think with this we have answered the first question. Then we have a question about the city video. Perhaps Jorge, would you like to intervene here?
Thank you, Katalin. Yes, the city, the video, as you remember from the past, it's you all the the finalist cities, so those who were going to the hearings, they had to provide a video. So before going to the cities, a video, a 1 minute video showing showcasing a bit what is the main purpose of the application. This year, as we knew, for example, Susanna already pointed out that it was really short notice for you to prepare the hearing and prepare the video. We decided that to give you the time to focus on the hearing, because this is the most important thing for you and also for us, and then only those who will be then the finalists to go to the final. So the three that will be the runners up and the winner. These are the three cities in each category that will have to do the video. So only those, so from the moment that you pass the hearing, then we will announce, okay, now congratulations, you will be one of the three. So you already know that you have won something. And then in that moment, between that day and the moment of the ceremony itself, then we will give you a deadline to provide us with the video. And this video, we will use it during this time in order to promote already your candidature. We will say this is one of the three cities that might be now the European Capital of Innovation or Rising Innovative City, and then that's why we will need it, but it will be nothing before the hearing. So we have here.
Then we have a question about the specific dates of the activities that are included in the application, whether, for instance, the applicants can present projects that started on a specific date like 2021, or can they also include older projects, for instance, the one that started in 2020 and earlier. And here, yes, you can include activities, projects in your application that started earlier than actually 30th of June 2022. It's important that they are that you present projects that are finalized by then, because actually the jury members will be able to evaluate, assess the impact of those activities, projects, only if they have been finalized by then. Of course, given the fact that we have a criterion called the City Innovative Vision, you, as Jorge mentioned, you can elaborate more on your future plans, and you might be anyhow forced somehow to add information about next projects or some ongoing ones. But please make sure that when you provide information about the ongoing projects and activities, provide information about the impact itself of the activity. Otherwise, the city won't be able to, the jury won't be able to assess properly that activity which is presented. Nevertheless, if we still talk about this criterion called City Innovative Vision or strategy, it's important that you also make links, try to show how the projects and activities that were presented in the other criteria work, and in this regard, I mean, in view of the city, in view of the city strategy that you have for the next years, try to present a narrative that actually shows what is the plan, what was the plan when you started all those activities. Did you have a sort of concept in mind or it was just some ideas coming from different departments, but and you just put them there. So that's something important, I think, that we've seen last year, Jorge, when during the assessment of the jury. So I think that's very useful in this regard. Would you like to add something else on the specific date question?
Yeah. In this case, to give you another example about the city vision, for example, if you say, okay, in 2030 we want to be here, so we want to reach this level of different things, and for that today already on 2021, then we have already in place and approved this strategic program. There is an agreement by the city council, the whole political parties. We have this and this and this, and then thanks to that, we have already moved in the past year. We did all this to have all these documents, these guidelines, etc. And we are convinced that thanks to this, we might arrive to that. So as Catherine said, it will explain a bit what is the narrative behind that, behind your objectives. So this can be important. So if you want, then we can go to the next question. Well, one thing before, maybe this question also was related because if you remember, in some years ago, we had a concrete timeline that you could present the activities. So now this timeline is not anymore in the rule of contest. We delete it. So now your activities can go as can be from doesn't matter which timeline, as Catherine mentioned. So it's not that jury is supposed to take into account only the information indicated on the form. So yes, it's important under the 30 pages that you have as a space to write down your application. Then you do that. But this is the part that is really important, that the jury members, they will evaluate and they will read these 30 pages. Of course, later you can put some more information, etc. if you want to give some background. But the information that the jury members always are obliged, let's say by contract, to read are those that are in there. So Angela, I give you the floor that I see that you want to intervene.
Yes, so maybe to avoid any misunderstandings, I think the jury, they read the paper, of course, but like we decided to provide something on top, but also for the local citizens, and also to have something that you can refer to. So if you have a press request, for example, and they say, well, tell us more about it, and we can say, well, go to our website and you can have a look at all the projects. And we thought it was a good idea to make our application as transparent as possible, also to our local networks, and also to for the public eye, to show, okay, these are the projects that we put in there. So if you want to find out more, please have a look. And the same is true for the social media. I think this is not at all mandatory or anything. Or you cannot expect the jury members to have a look at that, but I think it's good to have that in the background, so to say.
Great. Thank you for the intervention, Angela. I saw another question earlier about the UK eligibility. Jorge?
Yes, as you know, well, in order to apply to this competition, then only those cities, and then you will see it on the rule of contest, that are part that belong to a member state or an associated country to Horizon Europe can apply. What does it mean in practice? So in this case about UK, cities from UK, they can apply to the competition. The only thing that is important is by the time that we will award to the winner and the runners-up, that concrete country must have signed the association agreement to Horizon Europe with the European Union. So if that is not the case by November, December, that we will have the award ceremony, then unfortunately we will not be able to give the award to for example, the UK city or other countries in the world that might be associated to Horizon Europe. So that's also, you have to be aware of that risk, because it's a legal constraint that until your country signs this agreement with the European Union, then we cannot do anything else. So you should take a look to see how fast your country is on the negotiations with the European Union for that.
Thank you, Jorge. We have another question about whether the projects should be funded directly by the municipality, or can they be funded at national level with local experimentation. We don't have any requirement here. You can you are free to include any project, any activity that you deem important in relation to the work criteria that the prize has. Then there is another question about changing the application form layout. Jorge?
Yeah, the layout that you have in the application form must be respected. We see sometimes when we receive the applications that some people, some cities, they invest a lot of time, a lot of money to do something nice with logos, something really flashing for that, but you cannot. So don't do it. Don't lose your time. Don't lose your budget and your efforts. Focus on the content. You have it there. You go to the website. You download the application form, and then you use that one. You cannot. You should not include any kind of logo, even from your city. Nothing. So respect it. Filling is really easy, but use that one as a simple word. So don't change anything.
Great. We have a question about what a hearing is, whether is it only for shortlisted or for the winners. Yeah, so a hearing is part of the evaluation process. The evaluation process starts when we closed the application session, so right after 30th of June. The agency will run the eligibility of the applications sent, and then there is a first step of the evaluation, which is called remote evaluation. Basically, the jury members will individually assess the applications, and then only up to six applications will be sent to the second stage of the evaluation, which is actually the hearing, meaning that at the hearing there is a delegation of the city that presents the application. You would have like 10-15 minutes to present your entire application, to provide more information, maybe about some projects activities according to the questions coming out from the jury members. So basically, the jury members will be very active in that hearing. They will ask different technical questions about. Maybe they will require some clarifications, so you would need to reply to that. So it's only for the so-called shortlisted, indeed, which are up to 6 per each per each category. Sorry, and then following the hearings, ranking will be done, and we will know who is the winner and the 2 runners-up. I think this answers the question, and we can go to a next one, which is requesting more information about the participants that are mentioned in the application form. Jorge, would you like to intervene, or shall I take this one?
If you want, so oui, bonjour, ex-master province. So here about the participants, it's important that you know that the one who was always in the lead of the application must be the city itself. So the city council and the city, these are the main. So they are the main interface with the competition. But you can be here, and you saw it, for example, in the case of the slide presented by Angela from Dortmund, that then there is you can always have some other participants, some people that will be with you together in the application. So all of you, so the university of this, so you can put 2, 3 that maybe you are all together in this application, but the one who is the face, the representative of that is always the city. Don't make that mistake. It's also because this is the link to the supporting document that you need to apply, that you need to submit. That is the endorsement of the mayor of the city. So then only the city council and the mayor, they can endorse this application. So, for example, if you are a university, the I don't know, the director of the agency, whatever, then they cannot do this document to support this endorsement document.
If I may intervene here,
Yes.
Jorge, I think the question is also it shows a bit a sort of potential confusion that the applicants can make. So basically, this question basically comes because in the application form you see their participants when it comes to the applicant. So it might be a bit misleading that you would be tempted to think that the application must be submitted by more entities, when in fact we actually need only the city to submit the application. So if you want to apply to iCapital, and if you represent the city, meaning that you work for the city itself, you have to submit the application, not another entity that works with you, like a university, which is part of the innovation ecosystem. So that's very important, because basically the prize is given to the city itself. It's awarded to the city, so the money goes to the city at the end of the process. So that's a very important aspect. And then there is also linked. The question is also linked to the template support letter. And this is the endorsement done by the mayor. So when you apply, we need to make sure that you have the full endorsement of the mayor, of the highest political representative in the city, because we can't accept, for instance, two applications coming from the same city. So that's normal. So in this regard, we don't necessarily need, we don't have a specific template, but we just need to see there that the mayor or the highest representative, political representative, has given his or her endorsement that you can apply for this year's iCapital edition. I hope that this is clear. Let's see what are the other questions.
We have one question in the chat, in case we don't have any other in Slido.
We have two more here on Slido, and
okay,
then we
perfect.
can go to WebEx. Whether the number of pages of the application is important, Jorge?
Well, the number of pages is not important. What is important is the quality. So, but on the other hand, what is important is that you cannot go further than 30 pages. So if you have 31, then the 31 page, that will be the, let's say, disregarded by the jury. When we will download it from the system, that will be already even, they will not be able to see more than 30 pages. So don't go further, because that's important, that because it will be a waste of time for you. But then when within the frame of the 30 pages, what is important is also that you try to find the right balance between the 5 criteria, because the problem that you might have is that if you put too many information and too many pages in the number 1, 2, 3, you might have there, for example, a 10 points in those 3 criteria. But if you don't pay attention and you don't truly justify criterion 4 and 5, then maybe there you will not be scored high enough, and then you will not be qualified, because then you need to have a 6 in each of the 5 criteria. So that's important. So then pay really attention to have a balance between all of them, because if not, as I said before, then you can be excellent in 4 criteria, but in the number 5, if you have a 5, then you cannot go to the next round.
Thank you, Jorge. Then another question on what's expected from those participants, impact on the candidacy and evaluation process. I'm not sure I understand properly the question.
I think maybe you already answered. It was before when we were talking about the participants, or what that we need, when we said that we need the city council, and in the case that you can with other participants together with the city. At the end of the day, it's a joint proposal, but then it's always the city who has to be on the lead. So that's but it's true that from the evaluation form, it might be, as Catherine said, a bit misleading this part. So, but if you want to have, for example, a university or that, you can always put some examples that other stakeholders from the ecosystem are doing, but everything needs to be related to the city. Everything you need to be a concrete example that the city is the center of your application, and then later you can do some synergies with this. But the city is always the core of the application. I hope we were clear with this.
Thank you, Jorge. If we weren't clear, please kindly send us an email at eismea-icapital@ec.europa.eu. We will answer it also through a FAQ on the portal, on the funding and tenders portal, where you actually submit your application as well. Then another question, and the last one on Slido, is about who is supposed to attend the hearings, whether it's politicians or technical representatives or both. That's very open. That's an open answer. It's related to your own, let's say, organization, internal organization. But of course, since the questions from the jury might be somewhat technical and would require a little bit more information on some specific statistics in details, it's also recommended that that technical representatives are there. So I see that Angela has raised her hand. Perhaps you'd like to intervene in this regard.
Yeah, maybe with regard to this question, because we've tried out both. So in 2019, we decided to send the highest representatives that we could think of. So we sent the mayor, we sent the rector of the university, we sent the CEO of the biggest company to represent really the main pillars. But this was, of course, good to show that we are very much committed and that also at the highest level, our application gets great support. But what the problem is that these people are not the ones that can give detailed answers about how exactly the innovation projects function. So in the last round, we decided to do it differently. And we chose people that would represent our innovation ecosystem, also high level, but still on the coordinative, operative level. So for example, I was backed up by my chief innovation officer, who's responsible for the smart city strategy. Or, for example, we had from the mayor's office, not the mayor himself, but we had my colleague who's responsible for strategy and planning in the mayor's office. So people like that are really can really tell in detail about the innovation projects.
Thank you, Angela. Very, very, very useful. And I think this answers the question properly. Thank you very much. I've been trying to see whether we have additional questions on WebEx. It seems that they were all also published on Slido. So with this, I think we stop our question and answer session. Of course, as mentioned, if you have other additional information, if you require additional answers to your questions, doubts, please write to us on eismea-icapital@ec.europa.eu. In the meantime, we would like to kindly ask you to reply to a satisfaction survey that we have put together, and it's also you see it also on Slido, and I am sharing right now the screen. You can, if you kindly can go back to Slido, we have there some questions for you that would really help us to organize maybe differently this type of info session. So we have 3 very short questions that for which you will need to need to answer in maximum 30 seconds. So we would be very grateful if you can fill it in. I'm not sure why I can't show it. Now it's working. So okay. Thank you for the good score. Now I see. All right. We have 2, 3. Thank you, thank you, everyone, for sharing your remarks as well for the third question. Yeah, so please fill in the survey now, or even after the session is over. I see that you are all filling it in. Thank you very much. Yes, 9. Great. All right, so we still keep it up. We are still keeping it open. Perhaps Jorge, would you like to add your final remarks?
Yeah, so thank you to everyone. Thank you for being here with us this morning. We hope that you found it interesting. Also, for you to know, we will organize another second info day next week on the 5th of May, together with Eurocities. And then in case that you have now you could have this first meeting with us, but you still have maybe new questions. So please, we expect to, or we would like to see you there maybe next week if you have any other question. In the meantime, we will remain available for you through the email that already my colleague mentioned to you. So we will be happy to answer to all your questions in case that you need anything else. And of course, through the dedicated funding and this portal questions and answers, then I'm sure that there you will find plenty of information. And then with all this, I think nothing else from my side. I only hope to see you when we will open the system on the 30th of June. We hope that your city will be there, and we wish you the really best luck to all of you, and enjoy because it's a really nice process. And indeed, if you win, it's even better. So then now I give the floor back to Catalin, and say thank you.
Thanks, Jorge. And I see that Laura, our colleague, has also posted the website, a link to our website. Most likely you already know it, but don't hesitate to go back there to retrieve the rules of contest. I would like to thank also Angela and Susanna for their availability and the very interesting and good tips and tricks on how to win one of the 2 categories for this prize. I would also like to thank you for participating and being active in this session, and also to our colleagues who have kindly supported the entire process and for making this info day happen remotely. We hope that we will have the chance to meet in person very soon, also for future info days, future events about iCapital, about the European Innovation Ecosystems work program, or also the European Innovation Council activities. And yes, feel free to contact us should you have any doubts, and please submit your nice ideas, projects through these applications, and also provide the very nice impact and results of theirs that we already know that are great. So thank you, and with this we are closing this session and stop the recording. Have a good day all.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.